Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look. You got to look at this, right? At the top there, 30. Just hit 40. See it lock? Oh, did you look? Beautiful camera work. Good timing. Nice short video. Hey guys, Anthony, 4B4 Diesel. Just thought I'd quickly slip that one in at the start. This video is going to cover two subjects. One, it's going to be a little bit of a review and a bit further information after a few months of using the fairly new ScanGauge 3 and all the information it provides, and a little bit more about how good this transmission software is. Now, excuse me, some people would disagree. Some people don't like it locked. They don't like to feel the firm changes and know that it's locked. They just like it all smooth and slippery, right? Because that's what a slipping torque converter is. And there's some people that put it in comments, oh, but the reason they make the torque converter slip is to keep the EGTs down. Well, it does keep the EGTs down. It does help with that, so that is correct. But you can have a balance of keeping the EGTs down. Like, for example, let's take a step back to that 4-speed auto. It's just hopeless trying to keep it locked in fourth, even that matter for third, right? So what could they do? They could keep the software keeping the torque converter locked, but at certain speeds and loads, they could make it change back to third gear manual, you know what I mean? Automatically, like, you know, automatic transmission. Funny that, right? So instead of saying, oh, but it has to unlock and stay slipping in that gear, can we agree that it could stay locked, but when necessary, select the right gear by dropping down a gear, bring the revs up that way. So even better, even more efficiency, more airflow, lower EGTs, but the torque converter locked so we keep the transmission temperature cool as well. Bingo, right? Okay, so the usual run, guys. We've just passed Sunbury. We're passing Sunbury now, up the highway. The engine's been running for 13 minutes, so we're 13 minutes from there is one of our bases. We're on 13.5 litres per 100 k's by the trip computer. People that want to tell me how to drive, I've still got a car sitting in the left-hand corner, so I'm not going to move over. Some people say, oh yeah, hop the right lane. Mate, there's nothing behind me anywhere. Now I can go behind this guy, might look far near, you can't tell the distance. Yes, I could move over, but in a moment I'd be just moving over again. So don't worry about telling me how to drive. I don't hold anyone up. I'm one of the fastest vehicles on the road. If you need to go faster than me, you've got problems, okay? So I'm going to sit out here because it's safer, I've got a better vision, and I'll be overtaking any moment. And of course, if he needs to move over and go past the truck before I get there, that's fine as well. But I'll just about tip that I would have went past him before he caught up to the truck. So it could end up as a result. I could go past on the left now because he's slowed down quite a bit. So I'm just slowing down also. So, you know, it's not a driving lesson. Let me do the driving, all right? It's complicated enough with all these people around me that can't drive. And then if you see a car coming past on the left, that's because the guy in front of me is holding me up now, right? So that's how it works, right? He's out there, he's slowed down. We've got some hills, it's all good. So we understand trucks and caravans and trailers. You've got to understand people are towing. They can't always maintain the speed up the hill. Mate, the old Falcon here with a barra motor, you should probably be able to do the job, but apparently not. I think I can hear some revs coming out of it. Anyway, what were we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the ScanGauge 3. Guys, I love it in this vehicle because this vehicle has got a lot of data to offer. Okay, so there's 3 screens of data. We've got what, 3, 6, 9. 9 on each screen times 3, 9, 18, 27 data that we're looking at, right? Now, I better tell you what I don't like about it, because that's fair, right? Fair review. Okay, we've got it sitting the windscreen up in the sun, as you know. You should have seen other videos. Check our scan tools, ScanGauge information playlist, and you can see the information about all the different scan tools. I wouldn't personally buy one of these if the vehicle if it wasn't suitable to mount it up on the dash, because the wire needs to go out the back. It can't go out the side. So that's the first sort of, it's not a problem, but you need to be aware the wire only plugs into the back, not the side. Like the ScanGauge 2, we've still got the 120 and the Hilux. The wire comes out the side. There's some cars, depending on your dash, it's limited on space where you can put it. So no problem for us. You've probably seen up there. We'll show you soon. And you know, the thing I don't like about it, look, it's up in the hot sun. That's a test. Let's see what happens. It's been up there for months. We're about to go through the first summer with it up there, so that'll be let's see what happens, right? But love it as a tool. Look, personally, I think $415 it is up there. It's very expensive in my opinion, but look, balance. It's a hard one. If you've got money and you can afford it, then it's a good tool. You don't need one that expensive. If you can't afford it, don't push yourself to spend $400 odd to buy something like that when you can get, if you must have trans temp, get the scan gauge 2 maybe, and it's still nearly $300. It is quite expensive for what it is, to be quite honest. It is old. I've said that in other videos. It's been around for, well, I'll say decades, but at least a decade. But probably, I don't know if it's getting near 2. Not much has changed with it. In fact, I don't think it's changed at all. So look, this ute up here is sped up in the territory, and we're back to 4th gear converter lock. Trans temp 73, 74 for the temp and the torque converter, momentary unlock on gear changes. So I've just given you the rundown on what the temp is, and we'll run through that in a minute. So as I said, it was going to be a little bit about trans temps, okay, all incorporating answering questions, and just some driving lessons. So we've got the territory sitting in the blind spot here now. I'm pretty sure when we came on the freeway, anyway, whatever. So people, this is the thing, people need to decide what speed they're sitting on and set the cruise control, please. Okay, so our cruise control is on the usual speed. If you want to know, you have to go and check the other videos. Bada bing. So at the start of the video, that little bit of video was designed to show you that we're cruising along. We had the cruise control set at 110 at that point in time. The temperature hadn't reached 40 yet, because at about 39.40, you tell me from the video, I haven't quite figured it out yet, at about 39.40, that's where, until then, the software doesn't allow the torque converter to lock, so it slips on purpose to warm up the transmission. So just think how important it must be if they've gone to that measure of making sure that torque converter stays slipping until it hits 40. It's kind of imperative. This is not my information. This is using what's going on from that massive organisation, Toyota, and their engineering and their know-how, ASIM and the transmissions, what they want with the transmission, right? So it must be super important, okay, to get that automatic transmission up to 40. Oh, man, there's going to be obviously, there's an operating temp, there's going to be premature wear, that sort of thing. So beware of that. Some of the older vehicles, they might not have that software, so maybe take it easy on your transmission a bit, try and keep it locked, or try and do whatever you can. It's not something to worry about. We don't have to worry about things. These are the best vehicles. They're the least to worry about. Toyota's obviously still, people go, oh, Toyota not what they used to be. Look, I disagree. We can have a discussion about that, but I disagree. They're different to what they used to be. They've had a lot of emissions rules forced on them, which has caused some problems, obviously, as it has with other manufacturers. You just didn't hear about it, right? We've been through this. It's pick on Toyota, pick on the best. When the best is down, everybody wants to put a boot in, don't they? Anyway, I believe the Toyotas are awesome. Now, they make some mistakes. They're under some pressure. Engines have got to get smaller, and emissions have got to get lower, and diesels are on the way out, so don't buy a new diesel unless you've got plenty of money. Don't get a loan for a new car. We've been through all this stuff, right? But I'm going to give you a bit of a review on this scan gauge 3. The other thing I don't like about it is you turn the screen down to night mode, so you've got to manually do it. So you've got to touch the settings button at the bottom right, which is easy enough, and then there it is to slide. Not so easy when you're driving, right? Of course, but you already, oh look, it's in my eyes, I need to turn it down. So you already can't see. Excuse me. You already can't see where you're driving, and you've got to focus on a screen. So what would be good if you thought about it as nighttime, turn it down before you start driving, unlike what I do. So that's one thing. And when you turn it down to the night setting, because of the position, I've got it sitting on dead center top of the dash there, which is out of my view of the road. It's just covering the dash and the bonnet because of my height, if you know what I mean. Or you can adjust your seat height adjustments. That's in no way blocking my view. I don't like my view blocked. I like to have a very good view. I'm not the guy that drives around with the GPS. Please don't put your GPS right in the middle of your windscreen. You can't see what's going on around the joint, like it needs to be down low, or not even up high. It needs to be down low, off to the side a bit, angle it over to you. And that's probably what needs to happen with this scan gauge 3. I probably need to move it to the right corner or something like that. I'll see, I'll get round to it and I'll let you know. Because right in the middle, it works really good, because I can look at it and I can read and it's on, my eyes are still focused on the road all the way around it. That's what I like about it. It's solid. I haven't had it on rough dirt roads, but so far on all the rough roads, there's enough rough roads, sealed roads, right? Especially in Victoria. It doesn't move with that magnet to the bracket. The suction cap hasn't come off the windscreen in months. Okay, I haven't yanked on it and tested it, but it hasn't moved. I'll let you know when it does, let you know roughly how long it lasted. Follow the video, subscribe, like, and all that sort of thing. But it's just that slight bit of brightness. It's like a heads-up display, so it reflects, onto the windscreen right where you're looking out. So it's not too bad, but it's a bit annoying because, like I said, I'm fussy. Remember, I'm too fussy. That's why you like the videos, because I'm too fussy. So if I like something or don't like something or whatever, chances are most other people are going to like it, and that's why they like the information, because I'm too fussy. Okay, so don't be as fussy as me, but listen to me, because it'll give you the good information, and I'm here to give you the genuine, honest information. I can't lie, so it's as simple as that. So like I keep saying, like, subscribe, turn the bell on. So there's not a problem with the scan gauge 3, it's just that it's really to do with that light setting. We're going to pump it in the sun to let you know if it fails. I did get an email about a software update or something, because it wasn't coming on or shutting down for some people, and then you had to take was it a diode, or I can't really remember, to be honest. It was a month or two ago. I had a quick skim through something like that. So if you do have any issues, contact Scan Gauge, because they'll send you what the fix is. You can either send it back to them and they'll do it, or you can, I think you just open it up. Apparently it's not too hard, and I think it's some diode you take out or something. But, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. It sounds right. It sounds like working soldering, doesn't it? It's not that. It's just a matter of pulling some little chip type diode out. It's not, can't remember the details. Anyway, I just thought I'd add that in there as well. So they've got a bit of a, I don't know if it's you call it a recall or whatever. There was a note that went out probably to everyone that brought one, and they probably made adjustments. Let's say, I better put a date on it. Let's say that was around maybe September. Let's say it was September, I believe, 2022. So if you got one after that time, you're probably fine. If you got one before, right at the start when they were new, right? So it's all those teething issues, you know what I mean? When something's new, they sort of worked it out, bada bing. Other than that, I love the unit, so I'll just quickly get a couple of photos for you, or a couple of short videos, and we'll show you what we got up on the screen. Trans temp, let's just say I'm on 79 now, 80 on trans temp 2, which is, we got the trans temp in the pan and the torque converter. Anyway, so there it is, quick view. You can see we've got the coolant temp, the two trans temps, the battery voltage, the speed. Yep, we're behind that 200 series or whatever's in front of it. Can't do anywhere near the speed limit. We've got the boost pressure, which you'll figure out what readings it's in. I think you'll find it's kPa. You've got, there's 3 EGT sensors there. They are 1, 2 and 3. Okay, second screen you can see the fuel pressure, A and B. One is the target fuel pressure, which is constantly changing, and the actual fuel pressure, which is constantly chasing the target. You can see the engine load, you can see the ambient temp outside. The EGR position under this amount of speed and load is beautiful. It's closed at 0, so if you do highway Ks at 110 plus, chances are your EGR is going to be closed and it's going to stay clean. Like my engine, that's what it does, highway runs, right? How clean's this one going to be, right? So, there's some good data there, and it's good the way this engine works. I'll let you know what loads and temperatures in other videos, so you know what load and everything to drive at to keep your EGR on 0. Okay, engine RPM, mass airflow, and it tells you how much fuel's in your tank. Actually quite awesome, very accurate to an extent. I'll get to that in a separate video. Like and subscribe, separate video on that, but it does work really well. It doesn't go all the way full to 150 litres, but the sub tank drops down, and then the fuel tank, it is really accurate to what's left, almost to the litre, the few times I've used it and monitored it, okay? And this is pretty cool as well, right? So it's got your oil pressure, it's got your DPF pressures, and it's got, see the coolant max, that's what I like. So you can go coolant max today, there's coolant max overall, or so, I don't know how long it keeps it for, I haven't worked that out yet. It's got today's distance, as you can see, I told you what today's distance is, today's average speed, and speed max and all that, which is, beautiful. Anyway, a couple more minutes chit chat and we'll wrap this one up. So on that third page, bottom right was the alternator percentage, so that's your alternator duty ratio, right? And it sort of varies between 16, 19, goes up 25, goes higher, all depends how flat your batteries are, what loads on them, that sort of thing, right? So if you're driving at night, so that's going to vary. Don't worry about that too much, but understand it does vary. Your speed max and your coolant max, I really don't know how long it holds it for, to be quite honest. So yeah, but look, the coolant, that's about the highest it goes. The average speed, obviously, the ones that say today is obviously today. Let's just quickly go back onto page 2, see what else was there. Page 2, you can swap. Before I swapped it across and it moved, but it didn't work this time, so you've got to touch the 1, 2, 3 generally. Fuel pressure is going to be constantly changing, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. That's more of a mechanic thing, if you like, you know, like vehicle technician wants to look at data, numbers man. Engine load, you know, again, it's going to depend what load you're putting on the engine. You know, you're towing a caravan, are you in what gear, what hill, going up, downhill. Right now my load's on 0 because I'm downhill on the brakes for this roadwork area, you know. So ambient temp, obviously. Now the speed, I think you'll find, because some speed output is accurate and some's not. So your speedo on your dash, you know, your odometer's accurate, they've got no reason to change that, but your speedo's out by about 4% at 100 k's, or 4%, you know, about 4.5 k's at 100. So when people say, oh, I changed my tyres, they forget, then they put their odometer out, and some people can't believe that one's accurate and the other's not. They think they have to be both out together, and if I tell them it's different, they say, what are you telling me there's 2 sensors? No, just because there's, I'm not telling you how many sensors there are, I'm telling you it's called software, right? Excuse me, software engineering, right? I mean, you know, with the software and the readings, you can make the odometer accurate and the speedo out to whatever you want. They know how to make the speedo 100% accurate. Of course they do in this day and age. They're doing it to help you lock the fuel tank. So the fuel tank one, it's really good, but I'll do it in a separate video. I've mentioned in some of the other videos somewhere, but you've got to be subscribed with the bell on. Back to page 1, anything exciting there? Back to warp speed. I think I need a drink. Where's my water? No water. See, there's the problem. Okay. Coolant temp often sits around 87, 88 in the 1GD. This is a 2022. Trans temp, just for the record, after 36 minutes driving, 82, 83. Coolant's 88. See, it's just creeping up towards the coolant temp. I've said it before, these 6 speeds, for whatever reason, I haven't figured it out yet, they don't cool like the 4-speed and the 5-speed does, right? It's just bizarre what goes on with them. Don't get me wrong, generally it doesn't get too hot either, as long as you've got the later one with the remap software. Another bit of information for everyone that watches till the end, somebody told me they had like a 2017 or 18 or 19, something with the old transmission software. Okay, this is the one you want to hear about. The video wasn't about this. They went into Toyota, they complained about it. I don't know if it was from my videos making them aware of how crap it is, the way it slips and all that. They did an update and he seems to think, oh, it's beautiful, it's fixed, it's like the later models. So there must be a customer service exercise that I don't know about at this point in time right now. So ask your local Toyota dealer, say, look, I've got the early one that just crazy slips and it gets hot and it's sitting on 117 all the time, and they should be able to do an update for you. There's also, I believe, an update for the ones that were updated, like this one from 2020. Some people were complaining about when you come to a hill, it might stay in 4th gear, converter locked the way I want it to for a bit, and it's a bit shuddery, it's a bit uncomfortable. Like, it's not too bad, you just put the foot into it a bit more and it goes back to 3rd. And just so you know, 3rd gear in the 6-speed, in the later ones, locks as well. So 3rd gear locks, so converter lock in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. What does it tell you? They like it as well. They just took a long time to start listening to me. Secretly, they're doing what I ask. I don't think so, but you know, it seems like that because we talk about it and then it happens. But of course, the gear changes and lower gears with higher revs is how you get the EGTs down, not slipping the torque converter, okay? But obviously they didn't get it quite right because they've got some updates there. I'm not sure how many there are, what they all are. So if you've got the old one, I would certainly see the local Toyota dealer and see about any customer service exercise to get it to stop slipping. And if you got the later one and you're concerned about the, you know, the at 60 k's shattering up the hill, I I think they've got a software update for that one as well. But I'm not going to get mine done because I'm concerned that I'm going to lose a pattern that I'm quite happy with. I've had one weird thump recently. So automatic transmissions, electronic, if they don't get it right or some software glitch, it's only done it once, but it was quite a big thump. So I have had that. So that's new cars where you can blame not what they used to be, but I'll tell you what, you can go get some of these other brands, makes and models. See what happens when I move over. I'm just moving back and forth. There's no need to. There's nobody coming, whatever. Now that we got rid of all these people that keep speeding up and slowing down. Scan gauge, awesome. I'm going to try some different positions with it. Really good tool, but like I said, expensive, so you don't necessarily need it. You've also got the choice of the auto fix. If you don't want something on your dash at all, then you can read DTC's clear codes, but beware about which vehicles it does and doesn't work with. You know, the old 1KZ, don't worry about scan tools, there's not much to see. You basically never get codes. If you've got a 1KZ, don't worry about it. The petrol engine, it's not something that I'll be too concerned about either, but handy to have, more for the transmission temps, so maybe the scan gauge too. Gee, I can talk, can't I? I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, turn the bell, and see ya. Last little bit of information after 50 minutes driving. Look at that, coolant temp 84 going down a hill, so it's dropped a couple of degrees, and both trans temps 85, because it's going to become like everything around it, and that is the coolant. Those that wanted to know, little bonus, 10.6 litres per 100 k's at the 80 zone, so that's kind of a Melbourne to almost Bendigo trip typical fuel economy.